Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going over the Verse fruit tier list Roblox 2025. I've got the lowdown on all the top fruits you need to know about for the new year. Whether you're grinding in the early stages or looking to dominate the late game, I've got you covered. Before we dive in, make sure to hit that like button if you're enjoying the content, and don't forget to subscribe for more awesome Verse fruits guides and tier lists. Alright, let's get into the Verse fruit tier list Roblox 2025 and break down what fruits you should be aiming for this year. C tier fruits, invisible. Alright, now let's talk about the invisible fruit, sitting comfortably in C tier. This fruit's main gimmick is its ability to make you completely invisible, and that's pretty much it. In PvP, you can use this to sneak up on your enemies since your invisibility doesn't break even if you attack or use skills, which is pretty cool for surprise attacks. But, honestly, that's where the usefulness kind of ends. When it comes to though, this fruit doesn't bring much to the table. The invisibility doesn't help you deal any damage, and since it has no offensive abilities or crowd control, it really struggles in combat. You're essentially just invisible without the ability to capitalize on that. In terms of boss fights or grinding mobs, this fruit just doesn't hold up. You're better off with a fruit that has strong AO or CC to help you clear enemies faster. So, unless you're into a more stealthy, strategic playstyle in PvP, this one isn't the best option for most players. So yeah, invisible fruit is definitely one for those who like to play the sneaky game, but don't expect it to help you out much in anything else. That's why it's sitting here in C tier. Not bad, just pretty limited. B tier fruits, bomb, dark, quake. First up, we've got the bomb fruit. This one is fantastic for early game grinding. Its 2 damaging skills and solid AO damage make it really good for farming enemies, and it lets you focus your stat points on special and defense without worrying about offense. The downside, it lacks any crowd control, so you'll need to be cautious when dealing with tougher opponents or bosses. Still, for grinding in the early and mid-game, it's a solid choice. Next, let's talk about dark. This fruit may not have the highest damage output, but its massive AO makes it a great option for clearing mobs. The pull ability is fantastic for grouping enemies, and the damage over a wide area lets you take down large groups efficiently. However, dark is missing a movement skill or auto attack, which can make it feel slow or ineffective in PvP. It's great for PvP and farming, but in combat-focused scenarios, it might fall short compared to other fruits. Finally, we have Quake. It's very similar to Dark in terms of lacking a movement skill or custom M1, but it does have a higher damage output and slightly better AO. The only real CC in its kit is a short duration knockup, which can be useful in certain situations but doesn't give you the same control that fruits like Light or Flame have. Still, it can be a good option for grinding in some PvP if you're willing to make up for the lack of mobility with other combat tools. So, the B tier fruits are definitely useful in the right situations, but they all have their limitations. If you're looking for something with solid AO and decent utility, these fruits are great picks. However, for high tier PvP or boss battles, you might want to look at some of the higher ranked options. A tier fruits, Flame, Cyan, Flame. Let's dive into Flame, Cyan, first. This fruit is a beast when it comes to damage output, holding the title for the highest raw damage in Verse. If you're looking to pack a punch and melt enemies with fiery explosions, this is the fruit to grab. It also has an amazing mobility skill that lets you zip around the map, which makes both PvP and PvP a lot smoother. The only downside, it lacks crowd control, so you'll need to pair it with a combat style or weapon for that extra utility. But if you can make that work, Flame, Cyan, is one of the most powerful fruits in the game. Now, Flamea the regular version offers a very similar moveset to Flame, Cyan, but with slightly less damage. Still, it's an excellent pick for mid-game players who want solid AO and reliable damage without having to worry about too much complexity. Plus, it's relatively easy to acquire, making it one of the go-to fruits early on. While it doesn't have the same insane damage as its Cyan counterpart, Flame is still a strong option, especially when you combine it with a combat style or weapon for that extra punch. So, whether you're aiming for Flame, Cyan, with its top-tier damage, or flame for a more accessible option. Both of these fruits are fantastic choices for the A tier. They offer solid damage, great mobility, and a solid moveset to keep you competitive in both PvP and PvP. Before we jump into the S tier fruits, if you're finding this video helpful so far, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. It really helps out the channel and keeps you up to date with all the latest verse piece content. Alright, now let's talk about the S tier fruits. S tier fruits: light, dark, light. Starting with light, dark. This fruit is absolutely broken in the best way possible. It's the complete package with a powerful enhanced auto attack, insane mobility that lets you fly between islands, and a gap closer that makes PvP and PvP so much easier. On top of that, its skills have massive AO and stun enemies, which allows for free damage without worrying too much about enemy movement. It's just overpowered. If you're aiming for the top, this is the fruit you want in your arsenal. The only real downside is it's pretty hard to acquire, but once you have it, you're basically set for the rest of the game. Now, light, while it doesn't quite have the same raw power as light, dark, it's still a fantastic fruit. It shares the same moveset, offering great AO, movement, and the ability to deal solid damage. The best part? It's much easier to get your hands on, and it's one of the top choices for mid and late game players looking to spec into defense and special. It's incredibly well-rounded, making it perfect for players who want a fruit that's strong in all areas without too much hassle. So, both light, dark, and light are powerhouse fruits, but they shine for different reasons. Light, dark, is perfect for players who want sheer power and utility, while light is a more accessible but still highly effective choice for players looking to make the most of their fruit without grinding too much. Alright, that wraps up our verse piece fruit tier list Roblox 2025. I hope this helped you figure out which fruits are worth your time and which ones you might want to skip. If you found the video helpful, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more verse piece content, guides, and tier lists. Drop a comment below and let me know what fruit you're rocking in the game. And if you have any questions or need some advice on how to use any of these fruits effectively, feel free to ask. I'm always checking out the comments and love hearing what you guys think. Whether you're grinding or getting ready for some PvP, I'll be posting more guides to help you stay on top of your game. If you're new here, make sure you turn on notifications so you don't miss out on any future content. Trust me, you won't want to miss what's coming next. We've got deep dives, more tier lists, and tips that'll help you dominate in verse piece. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Stay strong out there, and good luck with your fruits.